again. Um, I had a shower earlier, so that's why my hair's all wet. I don't normally shower in the middle of the day, but I also trimmed my hair, so just couldn't live with the little fuzz bits floating around. Not like this little fuzz bit. But, oh, hope y'all been having a good week. It's been, life has been weird for me lately. I was working at McDonald's for a short time, but I lasted 5 days before I quit because it just sucks. And not just McDonald's in particular, just while I was working there, I thought about it and I'm like, the entire um concept of the fast food industry is just kind of annoying because it's just encouraging this hurry up, let's all run, 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 go fast. We got to get there. We got to go, go, go. And I don't know. I'm not thrilled by all the rushing in modern society. I know that's kind of a silly thing to say, but it's like, I would be ringing people out, rushing, working real hard, and then I'd look at the clock and only 5 minutes had passed, and I had dealt with like at least five different people, and I'm like just standing there going, why? Why hasn't more time passed? I was doing so much. Doesn't that mean time goes faster, when you're doing a lot? So it was just very frustrating. And like I said, I've walked away from it with going, why are we all rushing so much? Like, I understand there are a lot of people who are like, oh, you only get so much time out of life. You need to seize every minute and be in constant motion and stuff. But I can't do that. I don't know. I, I also think, if you're going to eat, excuse me, speaking of eating, I went ahead and burped. Oh, but, for meals, you should just sit down and eat it. Chew, swallow, enjoy. So it's just, I don't know, the concept of fast food is just kind of stupid to me. And, as both an employee and a customer, it's all the rushing and pressure for the rush is just, I don't like it. Because, even like, you get people who are like, I've been waiting 5 minutes. This is ridiculous. And it's like, it's food. It's gonna cook and be assembled. Because you realize that with a lot of fast food, they're sitting in little trays just being heated and waiting to assemble. And it's just, I don't know. I don't know. I'm not cut out for food industry work. I'm, I just can't get my head around it. I don't know. I'm in favor of society like humanity slowing down a little for a little while. I think we've done enough progress in the past 10 years to give us a break for like 15. Like, we don't constantly need to be in this high speed motion development. Everything has to get better all the time immediately. Well, get better is relative. Obviously, interpersonal relations and tolerance policies could be better. I'm just talking about I'm talking about physical things like technology and fast food. I, mm. Although one thing that could change is public transport. Well, I have too many opinions to get into that right now. That wasn't my plan for the day. But yeah, no, I worked for McDonald's for a little bit, then I quit. Um, I had last week off. Obviously, I wasn't doing anything. I was hoping to get hired by PNC, the bank, and I didn't. That was who I did the interview for when I showed off my outfit, and They rejected me for another candidate, presumably with more experience, because that's. I understand why you would want somebody with more experience, but like, oh, come on, man, take a chance. Help help someone out. Or, in the wise words from the Bridesmaid movie, help me, I'm poor. I don't know. It's just frustrating stuff. Um, but this week's okay so far. I mean, it's only Wednesday. Shit, it's Wednesday. That's the middle of the week. um, not much to be said for this week. I've done a lot of cleaning, which is kind of funny because it was my birthday on Friday, and I feel like I've just been doing chores pretty much every day since then. And, normally I don't ascribe a big fuss to my birthday because it's just like, every year you'd have a birthday, and after a certain age, they just kind of like, ah, yes, another year. But for, milestone birthdays, I feel like there is a little bit of fuss, like uh, when I turned 25, to me, that felt like a bit of a fuss, but then all the plans that I had fell through and it just kind of ended up mediocre. That's what happened this year, too. That keeps happening to me. That's frustrating. Well, maybe next year I can do something cool. But yeah, no, this year I turned 30. So I'm 30 years old now, which don't feel different. I think my mentality is different because like part of it is moving back in with my mother and older sister, and part of it is I don't know. I feel less mature than I did when I was like 24. I don't know. It's like I think a lot of it's my anxiety medicine. I take sertraline, also called Zoloft, which is also kind of an antidepressant. So I don't know. I felt more optimistic with it, and it really helps. I really like it. I don't really want any other kind of anti-anxiety medicine. Um, I will give that it kind of dulls both ends of the spectrum. Like I don't get as many as uh depressive or anxious as I used to, but I also don't get as excitable as I used to. And I'm like, you know, I'll take it. I'll take it. Because more importantly, I don't get weekly anxiety attacks and shit. So take your wins where you can get them. And honestly, the not bouncing off the walls with excitement doesn't bother me much because, like, I don't know. I just don't feel the need to. And except, sometimes somebody will tell me like really good news, and I'll just be like, "Oh yeah, cool." And they'll be like, "Oh, aren't you excited?" And I'm like, "Technically, in theory." So that one just texted me. Uh, I, yeah, I figured I'd, drop a little news catch up. Um, the other thing is, I'm kind of hoping to start doing Sims videos on my channel, which hopefully y'all are interested in, or some people. Even if I'm the only one interested, I'm still gonna do it. Um, the only problem I'm having right now is the software I use to capture my um desktop capture or whatever you want to call it. It does the um okay, one thing at a time. I'm not think. Um, Oh, brain work. The software that I'm using right now, when I try to record both my voice and the game, my voice is very, very quiet. So I'm a little concerned. Not only that, but like sometimes it just kind of cops out. And I think that part of that is obviously running the game and the software at the same time. So I'm kind of hoping to find something a little stronger and maybe where I can see or mess with the volume controls, and or just something that'll capture voice a little better. I'm gonna mess around with what I have for the moment, but the only thing is, obviously, I need something that doesn't cost money because I don't have money, and a lot of um, software nowadays, it's just like, yeah, I use FreeCam 8 right now. And unfortunately, like I said, it does do the uh, microphone issue. But yeah, no, I need to look for a free software that's going to be a smidge better just because I don't have the money to spend. And um, I do have a little bit left from my paycheck with McDonald's, and then this weekend we're going to be doing a vending event as Mystic Mothership in Mount Holly Springs, Pennsylvania, US. Um, but yeah, so we'll be there for, you know, tarot runes, selling our little crafts. Um, so that'll give us a little bit of pocket change. Probably go straight into bills. So I don't have a monthly subscription fee because you can't just pay once for any kind of computer program anymore. You have to pay monthly or yearly subscription fees, and that bothers me so much because, like, no, you pay once and then it's yours. That's how business transactions work. That's how they're supposed to work. That's how I'm used to them working. So just that's why the type of Photoshop I have is from the 90s because I refuse to pay for the Photoshop program because it's just, oh, that's a whole nother rant that I don't, oh, yeah, yeah. I think I've talked about it in a vlog before too, about how it's just so important to have physical copies of stuff you own because if they snap off the internet, you don't own it anymore. And that's really frustrating. For example, the EA app. I do not like this because I cannot play Sims 2 without the internet now, which I could do with Origin. You know, I was able to play whenever and however I wanted with the Origin app, but now that it's this EA app crap, I have to be logged in and I cannot be offline. And I'm like, The Sims 2 was created in 2004. So you do not need the internet to play The Sims 2. So the fact that they are forcing me to use the internet to play a game that's older than the app is very frustrating. Um, you know what? I'm not a PG channel. I'll just say it bluntly. It pisses me off. It pisses me right the fuck off. It's infuriating. Like, the gall on these people. And And the worst part is they don't even sell The Sims 2 anymore. You can't buy it. You have to like get the discs secondhand from someone or have someone share their account with you or something like that. It's just frustrating. I was lucky enough that I was able to get the Ultimate Collection when it went up for free when they uh, released The Sims 4. Uh, they put up The Sims 2 Ultimate Collection. That's all the expansion packs and stuff packs and everything. You know, the whole ball of wax. They released that for free um, on Origin, all those moons ago. And I just remember my sister texted me that, and I snapped it up immediately because I love The Sims. Um, Notably, I love The Sims 2. I never adapted to The Sims 3 or 4 UIs, like the user interface, where all their needs and motives and everything, needs and motives are technically the same thing. All their needs and wants and, that bar on the bottom. I never adapted to The Sims 3 or 4. I didn't like it very much. And obviously, The Sims 3 graphics are an acquired taste, we'll say. I feel like you kind of either love them or hate them, or you just kind of tolerate them because the gameplay is decent. Although for me, it lagged so much, and I just couldn't get my head around the open world and stuff. I didn't like the way it worked. So I just went back to The Sims 2 because I owned a physical disc um, of The Sims 2 base game, and I think my middle sister, because I've said before, there's three of us. There's eldest and middle child, and I'm the youngest. The middle child, I think, bought me my first expansion pack, which was Nightlife, because that seemed the most interesting to me. And it was a lot of fun. The attraction system was introduced in Nightlife. To me, anyway. I think it might have been introduced in another pack, but I don't remember. I was never that big of a Sims nerd. I just enjoyed the game. Um, because it's a good game. I'm sorry, the fact that it has been almost 20 years since its original debut. It was either 2004 or 2007. I don't know. I don't remember. But the fact that it's been almost 20 years since it was introduced into the world and it still holds up and it's still, I guess I won't say popular, but like, it's like a cult classic online. And, it still holds up. But I just the fact that it still holds up is it's amazing. It is a clear attribute to not only the success of the game, but its workings, how well it was made, and it was just made so lovingly. You can see it in all the details and interactions. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, there are so many YouTube videos comparing all four of the Sims games. Uh, when I was a bitty child, I actually did play the first Sims, The Sims 1, the original. We only ever had the base game for that. We didn't even know there were expansion packs until, geez, I think until long into my Sims 2 days, I still didn't know there were expansion packs for the first one. I was a fairly oblivious child. Anyway, but like, The Sims 1 was legendary because of what it contained at that time. Because, it was the 90s. And it was just incredibly done. So The Sims 2, following it, excuse me, I have 5 minutes before I have to leave to get my niece. Luckily I'm dressed, I just have to put shoes on. So I guess I gotta wrap this up real quick soon. But yeah, no, just to finish waxing poetic about the Sims games. The Sims 2 was truly a worthy sequel to The Sims 1. Because obviously, The Sims 1 is iconic, it's legendary. People my age and or older, um, there's a lot of music and sound effects that go with the game where you can play them out of context and people will know what they are. And it was just, and The Sims 2, like I said, it's just so well made. It holds up so well. And even if you just played base game with no custom content or default replacements, it's still playable. Like, it's still fun and engaging. I mean, obviously, I have the whole ball about wax. Like I said earlier, I was lucky. And I also have default replacements now, which replaces the hair, skin, clothes, and eyes so that the graphics look better. And, um, because, it was 2004 or 2007, that's the eyes admittedly looked pretty soulless, but given that it was, the mid aughts, as they call them now, given that it was the mid aughts, I'd say that it was still really impressive. And I also really love the Sims modding community, all the custom content and game mods, the default replacements, just everything that is available and possible for The Sims 2, whether by the original devs or the community, is just very incredible and honestly kind of humbling. It's just so wonderful. I don't know if I had an original point other than The Sims 2 is the shit. So that I played The Sims 2, because like I said, I just couldn't get my head wrapped around The Sims 3, and it's very laggy, and I didn't understand that there were things you can do and, programs and modifications you can make to make it less laggy. Um, Even if I did that nowadays, I don't know that I would still be interested just because I can't do the potato faces. I'll say it bluntly. Sorry. But if it was all I had, I might get around to it, but there's also a weird slowness to their movements that I'm not a fan of. Like, I don't know how else to describe it. And The Sims 4 is just a hot dumpster fire that I don't want to go anywhere near anymore. I mean, I could probably sit all day in the cast, the Create a Sim menu if I had all, if I either had, actually, not even if I had all of the expansion packs and everything. Honestly, if I had a, so a simmer that very much plays a lot of Sims 4 that I follow is Claire Siobhan on YouTube, and she uses a lot of CC on or custom content on her Sims 4, creating the Sims and everything. So if I had a custom content catalog like she does, I could probably be content with just the Sims 4 create a Sim. I probably really could just be content with that. Honestly, if EA really wanted to, they could probably just make a doll maker that we could play with genetics, and I think a lot of us would be pretty content with that. I sure as hell would, because that would just be fun for making my OCs and like making family trees and stuff. That would just be fascinating for me personally. Um, but I have to go. Uh, anyway, so if you know of any free programs that could help me do screen capture, let me know. That would be very helpful. I would be extremely grateful because I don't know a whole lot about it. Like I said earlier, I am going to continue to experiment with FreeCam 8 because that's what I have, and I'm going to do a few more tests. I didn't test very hard, so like I said, further research. But I'm hoping to start doing some Sims 2 videos because Sims 2 is the shit. So, I hope you all will enjoy that, and I hope you all enjoyed seeing me again, and I hope you all have a lovely day. Goodbye!